Hello. We're going to talk about The Beast in the Cellar. This is a British movie produced by and distributed by Tygon Pictures, same company that did Witchfinder General. So, this movie, I saw that it came out in 1970 on multiple sources, and then IMDb said it came out in 1971, but we're just going to go with all the other sources that said 1970. This movie, this is about a beast in a cellar? Actually, it's not. It's about two old ladies, which you can see down here. They're sisters. They live in a house in England, outside London. And, let's see. In the town, there are murders happening, of course. And the people being targeted in this movie are soldiers in uniform. So British soldiers are being targeted by a serial killer. Now these two little old ladies who are scared of the murders, as it turns out, their father was a military man and he fought in World War I. And the fighting messed him up real bad. So when he came home, he was kind of crazy, had PTSD. They ended up having a little brother. Father passed away, mother passed away. And what did they do with the little brother? Well, the little brother wanted to become a soldier, but they saw what it did to their dad, and so they decided they're gonna lock him up in a basement, in a cellar. And so for all of World War II, their brother was locked away without seeing the light of day or any other people. And when he comes out, he is not the same. So anyway, they just decided to keep him locked up in there, and by the end of his lifetime, he ends up getting out, killing people, killing soldiers. The effects in this movie are okay, not bad. The acting is pretty good. The main problem is we don't see the beast from the cellar until the final 90 seconds of the movie. You don't see him at all. And when you finally see him, it's just an old guy. It's an old guy with long fingernails and long hair and a long beard. He does not look like a beast, and he's very skinny. I don't even know how he would manage killing any soldiers, especially armed only with his fingernails. So all in all, it's kind of disappointing if you actually make it to the end, which some people may not. There is some action before, but it's like the camera gets real shaky, and then all of a sudden you see a dead body for like 1 second. There's one part, and I literally think it's on screen for half a second, but when one of these old ladies realizes it's her brother that's killing people, she goes to bury the body, and when she goes to bury the body, the eyeball has popped out of the guy's head, and she pushes it back in. It's on screen for like half a second. Other than that, it's a pretty tame movie. It's very anticlimactic. But there is something I want to talk about here that comes up a lot when people are discussing horror, especially discussions that were happening in the 80s and the 90s, but still today. And that is that horror is somehow misogynistic and sexist. Because according to people who say this, horror movies always have male killers killing women and usually have male protagonists saving the day. Now, even if you stick to the mainstream, you know the whole male protagonist thing doesn't hold up because we have the whole final girl thing. We have where only a female survives. That is happening in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, a whole bunch of movies, okay? There's the final girl thing. Halloween, okay? Halloween obviously has a female main character throughout the whole thing. So, but of course you do have the male who is attacking. Now, I think people that say this really haven't seen very many horror movies of any era. I think they're just going based off Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play. That's like all a lot of people have seen, especially if we're talking 80s. here we have a movie where you don't see an attractive young lady until halfway through the movie, 45 minutes in, and she's barely in it. It's just like a nurse taking care of one of these old ladies. The two old ladies are clearly the main characters of the movie. It's almost all we see in the whole movie. Once in a while, this soldier guy comes through, checks on him, and then he leaves. It's all about these two ladies. Here's a better picture of them. Beryl Reid and Flora Robson, okay, in The Cellar, or The Beast from the Cellar. This image right here is basically what the whole movie is like. A lot of people are harder on this movie even than I am being, because it just doesn't have much in the way of the horror action that you want to see. Mainly the Beast. I mean, like, the poster is cool looking. Why couldn't they just make the Beast look like that? That's not even that great of a design, but it would have been better than what we got. We got just an old guy with long hair. Even though we did have that eyeball thing, which was pretty cool, most of the movie is rather tame. They're really using that strategy of, I guess, making the audience scared of what the Beast may look like. It's hard for me because at this point, I just want to see the monster. The monster doesn't scare me. I don't get scared by any monster, especially a monster created before, like, I don't know, 2000. They look cool to me. I want to see them. There's some movies out there where we have crazy mayhem all the time. I definitely mentioned this before, but I Drink Your Blood, mayhem the whole time. We just talked about Multiple Maniacs. Total insanity the entire time. That's what I want to see. Okay, and if you're paying for a movie that's called The Beast in the Cellar, that's what you want to see. You're not looking for some deep symbolic plot, especially with a poster looking like that. It says a chill-filled festival of horror. I don't think so. All right, I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10 because the music was decent, the acting was good, the story was coherent, which we do have a problem with that sometimes. But, you know, what do we get out of it? Not a whole lot. Old man with the fingernails, sorry, not my thing. So 5 out of 10, nice try. We'll see what we can get for next time. See ya.